Good morning, folks. I'm going to talk about fish and the Seaspiracy documentary that is out on Netflix at the moment. As of this time, on the 2nd of April 2021, the actual documentary is at number 4 in the UK of all programmes watched, and has been up as high as number 1 over these last few days. It is getting seen by lots and lots of people, and even though the channel that the documentary is on is the biggest in the world at present, Netflix, it's still only 190 million people. 190 million people out of 8 billion. So you see, even if millions watch this documentary, which we hope they do, it's still an extremely small amount of people that are taking notice of the issues of the fishing industries. And just the simple fact of not even needing to eat fish at all. Obviously there's lots of people know about this industry and all the other effects outside of these documentaries and everything, but it's single documentaries like this Seaspiracy that focuses attention of people that don't actually take notice of these issues. And this is exceptionally important. Everybody needs to take notice of everything that we do to animals, whether it's land or sea. And particularly more so when it comes to the sea, because the sea is the place, the what is done to animals out there in the sea is so far out of sight that if it's not kept up in people's minds, it is practically out of sight. So this issue has to, people have to, it's not an acceptable thing that this can be a choice that people can make not to look at these things. It's not acceptable because of it is their ignorance that is causing this industries, that is causing all the animal abuse industries. They cannot be ignored. And just like us showing this information and actually forcing it out there is no different to the actual industries themselves that force the animals upon the whole of humanity. And they do force them on us every day. Every day I never see any one person speaking against animal food. There's lots of people out there doing so, but for the most part, a lot of those people that would do so and say so do not. And they do not because they have a fear of being embarrassed, being ridiculed by a majority. These are the only reasons that they do this. And yet, people like myself are, I'd say, abused with the promotion of dead body parts, or day after day. And any particular day, if I happen to have the radio on or whatever, just the talk of producing an animal food, the amount of talk that whenever it's anything to do with food, it is an animal that is included, and it's included in almost every single cookery thing. And then you wonder why people like myself will actually shout out and say, take notice of the animals. Take notice of what you are doing to the animals. And the reason for that is because you, the animal consumer, are coming at us daily, numerous times daily, saying, this is gorgeous, this is delicious. When we know that is disgusting and sick. It is disgusting and sick. The consumption of abused and used animals all across this world is the biggest sickness and disgusting thing that humanity ever does. It's bigger than anything that we do to each other, by far bigger, because of that has a direct effect on the worst things that we do to other humans as well. I gave up eating fish before I gave up eating other meats. That was down at the time more to how I sort of saw. I sort of realised that what was happening to fish was worse than what was happening to animals on land. And that was added to that going near a fish stall at the time, the absolute stench of that disgusting food was more than enough to stop me eating it. And certainly that sort of smell is no different now. And now it's added with worse pollution than it ever did have back when even before while I was still having it. This is disgusting. Yeah, I gave up fish about a good 45 years ago. At least 6 or 7 years before I gave up eating the land animals. There is no way out of this for people. You cannot ignore it. I, along with many millions of others, will not let you ignore it. But it has to be at the top of people's minds to stop it happening. It has got to be a moral conviction. It's got to be moral. Because of their lives, just like ours, is what they want to do. We impose upon them what we want to do. And in the most part, it is what we as a species do not even need to do. It is well known, well researched that there simply is no reason for any person on Earth to be eating any other sentient living being. Not a single reason. You will find lots of people on the animal consuming side telling you it is necessary. It is not. Watch this new documentary. Watch Seaspiracy. Learn the details about what the horrendous thing that we're doing to this planet in the seas alone, and then follow it up with watching Cowspiracy, which looks at all the land-based destruction that we are causing to animals and our environment. Both those two documentaries should be the most watched things on earth. They should be in every educational establishment. I'm putting it there. Have a good day, people, and stop harming animals all over the world. It is easy to do. Just do it.